Originally, we were just going to jump right into the sheriff's presentation, but the press came out yesterday, and I want to make sure that we kind of clear up a little bit about the $1.7 million budget increase request. So, in being fair to the press, our budget is complicated. It's complicated because we have two separate entities. You got the county funds, you have BCCMC funds, we have grant funds, and we have revenues that come in through the sheriff's office from a multitude of different places. So when they requested the budget, I sent them everything. Probably should have asked more specifically about what they were actually looking for. But as they went through there, it could be very confusing if you don't know what you're looking for. So I've actually talked to Jessica about that. So I wanted to make sure that we get that clear, because if it comes up with questions later about that specific point, that our increase that we're asking for from the county or taxpayers is not 1.7 million. So to go ahead and tell you, to get that out of the way, our increase request for the county budget, which is law enforcement, which means that's the security at the courthouse, it's the dispatchers, it's the law enforcement services. All of those things are components of our law enforcement, the detectives and all of those. The increase for that, both personnel and operation, our increase we're requesting is about $513,000. That's what's tied to what you call the taxpayers. That would be their increase. So it's not 1.7 million as it relates to the sheriff's office law enforcement budget. So let's kind of look at the correction side. So when you look at the correction side, we have a different entity of BCCMC, which is where we request our budget from them every year to operate the jail. And so inside that component, the county inmate expenses are in there. So what we have to do is we have to go in and separate costs. So we house immigration detainees, we house marshal inmates, and then we house county inmates. So what we have to do is go through a process of breaking down the costs for each one of those entities, which we have done. And so then when you look at, this is what the marshals pay, this is what ICE pays, and then this is what the county pays. And it's based on a breakdown of percentage of the population. So if you got 300 ICE detainees, you got 100 marshal inmates, and you got 140, we get a percentage out of that, and that's how we allocate the cost on operations. Personnel cost is broke down in a straight up 33%. It's a third. You got three entities paying. So the personnel services cost, personnel services means that's your salaries. That's where the folks that work there are getting paid. Operational costs is where you talk about the medical, the food, and all of those things, the clothing, all it takes to do the operations side. And it gets broken down into percentage of population. So if you happen to be the entity with the most population, then you are the entity that pays the most cost. So that's how those things are broken down. So the number that is affected to what you would say the taxpayer part, the county, what is the county paying for their inmates? That request is about 4.3 million. So that's what it costs for about the 140-ish or so inmates that they have per year. So there's an increase too. When you look at the increase as it relates to the inmates, one of the things you have to take into consideration is where was your population last year and where is your population this year? So if your population increases, of course your expenses are going to increase. So just over this past year, we're looking at across the board of an increase in population of about 41. So, and then you break that down to a cost per day about 365, and you can see very quickly how your costs can add up. So, but it's still broken down on that. So if you was to say, well, if it ain't 1.7 million, then what are you saying that you're asking the county for to pay for our law enforcement? And I say, what is more? I'm not talking about the total number. because we're talking about the $1.7 million stated increase. It's about $900,000 increase this year, not 1.7. So we just wanted to make sure we cleared that up. And if anybody does have any questions on that, I'll be glad to answer them in the question and answer process. But really, we just want to get the sheriff on up here and get him to go through his presentation, and then we'll address any questions out of all of this stuff after that.
Prosecution. Any questions?
I won't need the microphone, I can talk loud.
You are loud.
The one concern I have, and I'm sure the people that showed up, I'm surprised not more of the community came to listen to what you had to say tonight, and I appreciate it. Thank you very much to you and the department. My concern is our growth. You brought that up. I haven't heard anything from our county like other counties. They have a fund. They bring in, when they're building new homes, they'll have an assessment they do to jump, and they'll put that fund aside for growth. What have they done to help the sheriff's department for our growth? Because we're gonna need more of our officers for our community. And that is one thing I don't see happening or hear happening. We got growth coming, like you said, it's gonna take more officers to protect us. Are they planning for growth? Just like our sewage treatment plant. We're all gonna get stuck with taxes to pay for a new sewage treatment plant because of all the growth. My concern is our safety. So that was my question to you.
That's a great question. It's more of a county commissioner question, to be honest with you, but I don't know of any plans that they have, but I'll be honest. And I'm probably gonna get in trouble. I should
Say it anyway.
Let it go.
But the thing about it is this: the reserves in the county were dwindling because of the facility that we have out there. That hurt our county. I'm not saying anything negative about any individual whatsoever. That was the worst investment that Baker County made. That facility has broke us. It has not made us to be wherever we can put stuff aside for law enforcement, for emergency services, fire, rescue, because all those things are going to go up.
Oh, yeah.
Not just law enforcement, services in itself are going to go up. But what I will not stand for is this. I'm going to present a budget to what I need to make Baker County safe, as I said earlier. I am not going to let paying for that jail get in the way of what we need for people that live in our community. That's not going to be a popular statement, but it's time to stand up and say, hey, this is what I need. I was elected sheriff. I was elected by you, each one of you, to keep our community safe. I wasn't elected to be a warden at a facility that should have never been built. I'm proud of the job we've done at that facility to keep it afloat, the things that we've done there to make things better. But it's just the gift that keeps on giving is what I tell them every time I meet them. Yeah. And it ain't pretty gifts that they give.
It's a big stub toe.
But it's people don't understand the difficulties it is to have that facility. It is 724, 365 of problems. That, I'll give credit to Undersheriff Cruz. He tackles most of those problems for me. I'm in the loop. I know what's going on, but my job is to be the sheriff in the community. And that's what my focus is. I still have responsibilities for the jail, and I take those and I make those tough decisions when he brings those to me, because that is my job also. But sheriffing in Baker County is not like we're on 3rd Street and you run everything. That is a massive, massive overtaking out there. Millions and millions of dollars. And goes back to the negative media. Requests we get, public records request. You would not believe the public records request, we're just everywhere, from jail stuff, ICE stuff, ACLU, suing us, every day. I just got one yesterday, which is fine. But I don't know if that answers your question or not. I don't know of any others than just the county reserves. I've never been told that they're putting anything aside for the sheriff's office. I wish they would. I think they could if we didn't have that monstrosity of a building out there, which was terrible for the county.
I have a second question. The
Go
second
ahead.
question you brought up about Neffish, when you had it up on the board up there, where's the state police? Why don't they have officers out there and relieve these guys of that headache?
Our responsibility is in our jurisdiction. When crime happens in our jurisdiction, we are responsible by statute to respond to there. That's the best of that.
So the state police are out of that,
Yeah.
even though it's a state-run facility? Okay.
We try to recoup some of the, because what happens is this: when we go out there, then we have to arrest them. Then we have to bring them to our facility. These people have mental issues. Then it becomes another burden on our taxpayers, on our jail, on our costs for inmates, because we're having to sit one-on-one. When I say one-on-one, they sit in a cell with a glass door. We have to sit an officer outside, and that's his shift for 24 hours to sit there. When we do that, that takes one off of a position. So usually that is overtime. That gentleman that's sitting there, a female lady, we're paying them overtime. It's double time to sit there. And those are a lot more than what people think. We have a great medical staff. Justina's here. They do a fantastic job to help us to reduce costs, and I'm proud of them and what they do. But I wish we could. It would make it easier if that could happen, but that can't happen. They're in our jurisdiction, and we have to be responsible for them. Go ahead.
Do I have to come up there? Can I-
No, you're good. You're good.
Okay. There was two other guys that were supposed to come in and they bailed on me, so this is kind of on me. My biggest problem is, I work for the county, I drive the road grader for the county. In no way, shape, or form am I representing the county. I'm just talking for myself. So I just want to make that, because I know how Facebook works.
The devil.
But, yeah, I don't want, my boss don't like me no way, so. But, I've been a road grader for 3 years now, and I've been with the county for 5 years. In the last 3 years, I have progressively seen, this is kind of a two-part thing. I have progressively seen ATVs and UTVs on the hard roads. You know, as a road grader, me and the 4 other road graders we deal with it every day. The other day, I had just finished the road, and there was 2 of them, 2 kids sitting on a 4-wheeler and a side-by-side. And as soon as I left the road, they went in there and tore it up. But my thing is the ages of these kids. The ages of these kids is somewhere between 15 and 9. Out there riding these 4-wheelers on these dirt roads, on the hard road. Louder Street, Claude Harvey, 125.
Right here,
127.
right here on Ohio.
When are we gonna try to address that situation? Then I'll ask you the second part.
We do try to address that, and I get the same complaints of people that live on dirt roads. They never come spin it up till the grader goes by. That's what they say.
Nice flat road, you know?
Yeah, and I live, front of my road's a dirt road.
Yes, sir.
And I see it. Those are things that we have to see, we have to visually see to enforce it. We do that as much as we can. I'll be honest with you, and that's what you're gonna get from me is the truth.
Okay.
Our deputies are so busy responding from calls to service. There's no downtime. I've been on a 2-year mandatory overtime for deputies working. That's why we have deputies leaving, because they're working so many hours. It's causing problems with their families, and that's wrong. But that's why we're trying to increase our salary. We're trying to increase our number of deputies. That's why we the AIU, those are things that we're going to task them with, four-wheelers, golf carts, things of that nature. But their first goal and their first task is to find people with warrants. If I receive calls, the undersheriff receive calls, the captains receive calls, hey, just like you're saying tonight, if you give me roads or names, we will put that on our list to say, hey, these activities are happening and we need to shut it down, we need to stop them. That's what we're trying to progress to. If I get another AIU individual which can go sit in these problem areas and that would be his task, it makes it a lot easier. Because if I send a deputy there, if you give me a street name right now, just say Cowpin Road or whatever road it may be that might have a dirt road, and you say, hey, they're tearing it up between 3 and 4 every day. They're getting with it 3 and 4. Captain Doherty, send a patrol guy out there 3 to 4. When he parks there, if he gets a call, that call for service comes. He has to leave and go answer that call for service.
Right.
And it's not an excuse, it's the truth.
Yes, sir.
I understand what you're saying. We feel your frustration. That is something that we are trying to address as administration, because driving across our whole county is a problem. People are in a hurry to get nowhere. They fly, and we see it. And we've wrote 446 tickets since October. That's 3 individuals. So we're going to address it. We're trying to address it, and we're trying to slow people down, but we're also trying to work on ATVs, golf carts, children driving, because we want to keep them safe. I don't know if that answers what I did.
Kinda, yes, sir. But this, I'm glad you brought up the part, we gotta see it before, we can do anything about it, because that brings me to the next part, on my road, Ferrer Road. The officers have been called out, there's been 7 phone, no, there's only 11 people 11 houses that live in this, little community right there. 7 different people have called about these 3 kids riding these 4-wheelers. And 5 different times, the officers have come out and spoke with the family, spoke with the father, spoke with the mother, spoke with the kids, explained to the kids, no safety gear, no shirts, no shoes, underage. A 9-year-old is riding a 400 4-wheeler. And my thing is, when are we gonna stop slapping hands and start writing tickets? Because you start writing tickets for these kids.
Are we seeing them on the 4-wheeler?
Yes.
So our
4
deputies.
4 of the 5 times, yes.
Okay.
The other times, my brother has them on camera. Because we set up he set up a game cam. He's crazy like that. But, he set up the game cam, got them on camera. And all they did was go around and talk to the parents and slap their hands. I mean, you start writing, these tickets for these parents to pay for tearing up the public road and all this, that stuff will stop.
And we do try to talk to the parents, educate the parents, try to get them to stop. But if that's not working, we do need to move to the next level, which would be citation when you get in their wallet, they feel it. Captain Doherty, that's what needs to start happening.
And it's still going on, like yesterday morning, I was going to Dr. Douglas. I go to pull out my driveway, one of the kids comes flying by about 20 miles an hour. Had I been 2 seconds earlier, he'd have run into it. And his parents gonna sue me because I hurt their kid, you know what I mean?
You said Fiera, right? You live in Fiera, turn off the Buck Road.
Yes,
to
sir,
the
all
left.
over right there.
See if we can get somebody out there, please.
I appreciate it, and I'm impressed with the information.
Thank you.
Very, very good.
Ms. Martin, you got it?
I just have I don't know if it's a law enforcement thing, but it's a bother me thing. I like our county, and I take pride in how we, as a community, we try to, band together. And I am not a heartless person. I just want to say this before I make this statement. But there are some vagrants or panhandlers at the Winn-Dixie and Walmart area of 5th Street and 6th Street. They've been there for a little over a month. And I mean, I've given them money before when I first saw them out there, but it's been a long time, and I know you can't just go up and harass someone and say, why are you, it's not illegal, I guess, to stand on the corner and beg for money or.
Are they at the Walmart intersection?
Yeah, they're at the
Yeah,
Walmart,
right
but they
at the
switch
stoplight.
between Walmart and Winn-Dixie. I mean, they're there all day. It's been all day, every day.
See,
We did address some yesterday.
is that
Yeah.
Walmart property? Didn't we work with Walmart?
Well, they're not on Walmart, they like kinda stay far enough where they're not really on the property, they're closer to the light and street.
They're in the island. They're in the island.
But
Yeah,
at
they're in the island
Walmart
right
and-
there.
and
Yeah.
Winn-Dixie,
Right at the
they're
stoplight.
on-
And I think that's still
There's three
Walmart
of them that
property.
like
I think it's still Walmart property. I think we were dealing with that. We need to reach out to Walmart again and see if that's their property, start trespassing and arrest them. So we trespassed them yesterday?
Okay, never mind.
Winn-Dixie also?
Winn-Dixie's the trespass yesterday.
And then another thing, how the involvement with the middle schools. There's a lot of racial things going on in these middle schools. I've addressed it with the school board. I've gone to try to get unity marches. I've tried to get people involved. I'm getting the runaround from just about everybody who is high up in the community, except for you, Scotty, who's already had a conversation.
I was fixing to say, man, you talk, Cassie. I called you, didn't I? Matter of fact, she's sitting back there. She just told me the other day that she's been waiting on you to reach out.
Yeah,
Yep.
I mean, I know I'm not talking about the sheriff's department, but I'm trying to just get the community involved.
I agree.
To try to get these things together, because it's middle school, and then they asked me to substitute, but then y'all have a special grant for me in Baker County jail, because I would kill children. Just put it out there, I don't want to go in whatever color every time they get.
Okay.
So I don't know, it's frustrating, and I don't know how much the school resource officer is involved with the schools, or is that a part of you all, or is that another entity, or, I don't know.
Who else here?
I see him over there, he knows me, he sees me every day, because I'm up there all the time. I'm not in the.
We have a school resource officer at every school, and that is part of their job, is to be engaged with the students, to build that relationship, to give the comfort for law enforcement.
Right, but it's kinda out of his hands, because, no offense to you, because I know what you do, but it's, the parents are interfering, and it's a lot of, like he said, tapping of the hands, and it's, I mean, what is the accountability? I mean, I've got it put in the, what is that thing that, on the school book, the agenda,
School board.
the policies and procedures. I've had, racial slurs are now a level 1 offense. I've had that implemented in this process about this weaponizing. But it goes, I mean, I don't know what else to do, and I'm reaching out, even just with the whole community, not just the sheriff's office. I need help. We gotta get these kids back on track. These kids are crazy, and I'm crazy, and these crazy is a whole different crazy.
You see the statistics that we showed tonight,
Yes.
14 to 26, we're dealing with
Yeah.
problems in our youth. You know, we're just gonna sit down, we're gonna participate 100% in whatever you need us to do to make Baker County better. What I will say on this is, we have to be very careful with our resource officers. They're there to make sure that kids, teachers, staff are protected from someone that may come in there and cause
By
harm.
himself. I mean, no offense to him, like I said, I know he does what he can.
He is.
But he's by himself.
That's right.
And I know we don't have the money in the school, but if all these kids really just decided to do it, they're gonna get it. They're going to get it.
There is things put in place to where if it's activated, there will be more police officers there within less than 60 seconds than you could imagine to help him, to help if there was some type of violence. If it's a school policy violation, we as law enforcement cannot get involved in that. Because if we get involved in policies that are at school, then we open ourselves up, I open that deputy up for liability. And I can't do that to you. We try to be involved as much as we can. And I tell them that. Skirt the line, but be careful. Because that's what we are there for. We're there to make people feel safe and make sure everyone that goes there is safe. Teachers, staff, custodian, whoever it may be, parents visiting. Yes, we have one deputy at every school, but we do have other mechanisms in place to keep our schools safe. That is my number one goal, is to keep every child, every teacher, every custodian, every visitor that comes to the school safe. That is our goal. That will never change. Anybody else? Quick.
Maybe a different subject, and you touched on a lot about community safety tonight, and we appreciate that. We hear your heart, so we know where you're coming from. But my only question to you is, you're down X number of officers right now, and maybe that's a budget thing, maybe that's because they're leaving for better pay, or whatever the reason is. What are we doing to make our officers feel safe? Are they given all the equipment that they need to go home every night? That's what concerns me. We've got officers out there, they put on that uniform every day, and the world's crazy. And we want to see them go home, and we want to make sure they got exactly what they need to do their job.
Absolutely. That is one thing that we have prided ourselves on, and I could let our people talk, but we have some of the top-of-the-line equipment to make sure they have every tool in their toolbox to do their jobs. But the most important is to go home to their family. That is one thing that I do not want to do as a sheriff, is have to go to a family and say, we lost one of our own. And I think about that. And that's why, whatever it costs, whatever they need, they've got it. If they don't have it, they know, and they can ask them. You can ask them by yourself. If they need it, all they have to do is ask for it. That is a great question, and I can assure you, they have the proper tools to keep them safe, to make sure they're going home. Because that is my ultimate fear of having to knock on the door and tell someone that they've lost their loved one. And it would never be because they weren't equipped with the proper gear or things that they needed to do their jobs, to be safe, to work in the county where I'm responsible.
Thank God that hasn't happened.
Thank you. Praise the Lord. Yes, sir. Mr. Buck?
I'm disappointed, like a lot of us probably, if there's not a bigger crowd here tonight, you know, in this county, and especially the parents of some of these kids like we're talking about. And the second comment, I don't know if there is there a county commissioner here tonight? If there's not, why not?
It's a truth.
I don't know if they have some meeting they could have. I'm not sure. But it's Thursday.
Easy, Scott, easy.
Well, let me answer that. I don't want to, we sat down with them last week, and we kind of went over this whole presentation with them to explain it. It was in more detail, it was more budget oriented, it was more of the technology plans that we were trying to implement, and it was a 2 hour, I'm not exaggerating, we were over 2 hours with each one of those in the afternoon. So they are aware of this, they have a right to come, but they got more of a detail than what you did tonight, because it was budgetary stuff, it was technology stuff, it was things that we were trying to do, trying to grow, trying to be more proactive, and showing what we need to grow the future, to grow the sheriff's office, to be more where we can keep our community safe when the growth comes. Because that's the plan. Do we have a plan? Yes, we got a plan.
Now, leads me to one more question. The AIU team member that you need, or multiple ones you need, other than the three you have, what does it take financially to support that? I know you're going to put it off until the next budget year, but I can see your passion for it. I can see the result. We can see the results in this doing with just three people. What would it take? What would it take from us as a county or us as commissioner or whatever it might be to get another person to do, especially when we grow? Because it seems like it's one of the strong points of your force. You know, obviously the deputies are doing fantastic, but this is a targeted something that would help take the thugs off the street. It sure would be nice to have more help. What would it take financially to do that?
The cost of another deputy is what it would cost. I mean, that's what it would take. Finding the right person to put out there. We did this without permission. I mean, we didn't need permission, but this is what we We took the funding that was given with an idea that I thought, and my administration people thought, would better Baker County. We made this unit, we put them out there, and the proof's in the pudding, is what I'm gonna tell the county commissioners. It's there, it's working, and this needs to happen. I'm trying to give it that full year cycle, Mr. Buck, to be honest with you, to show them the progress that we're making and explain to them why we're trying to grow that. 4 is my number I want to get to, but then if we can show this is working, then we may come up with another, maybe a 2 deputy team or something. That may be strictly for 4-wheelers, speeders, things that are different that, because again, the goal with the AIU is for traffic problem areas, don't get me wrong, because that is a big issue in Baker County. But what I want them to do is target criminals. That is where I feel like we need to do right now. People with warrants, people that are violating the law, and people that are committing violent crimes. And gangs. So they're gonna, what's gonna happen is we're gonna inundate them with so much stuff that I can see it reducing or watering down their results. And that's what I don't wanna do. So I wanna have everything, my ducks in a row when I go to the commissioners, show them the process, show them the progress that we're making also, and then show them that there's other ideas that we have to make Baker County better.
Well, that leads into my last question. How can we, as county members, how can we help you get there? What can we do to help you raise that 500,000, whatever it is in the budget or something like that? How can we help you get there?
I'm not instructing you to go to a county commissioner sitting there and lobby. Phone calls, I mean, that's your right, it's your county, you should be voicing your opinions. I have no problem with that.
And I'm not trying to be rude, but off what he said, you said you had this meeting with the commissioners, aside to that, but they heard what you had to say. They should be here to hear what the community has to say as well.
Correct.
And you have to be careful with them all being together because of the Florida Sunshine Law. One of them could have showed up. That's why, really, the most sense, I would have loved to sit all of them down at one time and go over it, but I can't. So I have to set one up for a Monday, one for a Monday evening. We were up there till 8 o'clock one night because we had to wait. That's what we have to do. But they have to be very careful with them meeting in one congregated area because of the sunshine laws. You done, Mr. Buck? Did I answer it or not? We're going to try to do those once a year. We have not got a set date for that. That's what we will push out on our social media, our app, our website. But that is something that we came up with to say, okay, this is another need that I see in Baker County. So that, okay. I'll call you. You got my number too, by the way. Somebody else raised it.
Just quickly, that little square thing that you had up there on the screen earlier that you said you could, my daughter's not here, so can I get to that at some other point and let her download it to me? Through the app?
Yeah.
Okay, all right.
Yes, ma'am, I see you.
Since it seems to be our teens and our young adults that are committing the most violent crimes right now, what do you see as the predominant factors leading to the delinquency of our children, and what's the number one factor that you see as the biggest return on investment for us to do to prevent the next generation?
Thank you very much. I gotta figure out how to say this without. I'll be honest with you, what I see is the most.
Starts in the house.
It starts by parenting.
Yep.
It starts at home, it starts with parenting.
That's right.
I have children. And I parent them. My wife parents them. I know where they're at. I know who they're dealing with. I know who they're talking to. I can look at her right now and say, tell me where my 16-year-old son is. She can tell me right now where he's at. She can tell me who's he communicating with on social media. What is he doing? Parents have to be parents. Stop being scared of your children. Stop trying to be their friend and be their parent.
Amen.
Amen.
Just a cold hard truth. I hate it. I hate to be that blunt, but that's what it is. You need to take charge of your children. I can't. If I could, I would, but I can't as law enforcement. I mean, we can't raise people's children.
So would you say strengthening families would be the biggest return on investment for us?
Strengthening families would be that would be the best start I see. But I'll just be honest with you. Parents, give kids, this is the worst thing that a kid has ever come up with.
Yep. Yeah, it's
The
number
worst
one.
thing.
Yep.
But you know why kids have this? Go sit right there and play. Go sit right there because I'm busy. It entertains them, and then they start getting on there with their entertainment. And the way this is, it traps our kids with junk, with pure poison, pure devil. It's plain and simple. Your kids need to be monitored. There is devices that you can put on these phones. Shut them down at night. Have a set time. You can't be on your phone after 8 or 9 o'clock. You got kids that are on there 2, 3 o'clock in the morning. They can't wake up to go to school the next day. When they do go to school, they're sleepy. They can't learn. That would be my advice. Video games. I tell you, I think that what we're seeing here, and I said it with Jessica, I think some of this violence that we're seeing, it's coming from video games they're playing. The music they're listening to.
Yep.
Music they're listening to. Shoot people, kill people. They play video games with their headsets talking to their buddies. They kill one another on there. They kill this one, kill that one, and they go hit restart. When you do this in the streets and in real life, there's no restart button. But they're not understanding that. It's just like the shooting we had. They thought that they were defending themselves. They literally went down the street and hunted this man. I'm sorry, that's what it is. Anybody else got a question? Yes, ma'am, I see anybody.
I'm from the old school, and back when I was coming up, we had community.
Mm-hmm.
And community would help people raise their children. Not so much raise them, but that kind of keep them in respect.
Should give her a microphone.
I went to the police officer in Montgomery County, so she kind of tells me what I can and can't do as far as the law is concerned. And I've been in the neighborhood with little kids out 8, 9 o'clock times. So one time, people were like, "What you got going outside this little place with the house?" And when a 10-year-old curse you out, what can you do to help these people? So, and so your heart goes out to that because, you know, you want to help because parents work late and all that kind of stuff. But kids are disrespectful and you just trying to help them. They might pull out guns. So some of
That's the scary part is when you're dealing with kids, you've got to be careful who you're dealing with because the majority of them probably are carrying guns. But the disrespect, not to just another adult, but those men and women sitting right there in that uniform. I can tell you, when I was growing up,
No, sir.
please don't call. Take me to jail, whatever you got to do, but I knew what was going to happen. Even with the school system. A principal was to call my house, they wouldn't be what I'd done. I wouldn't even have to say so. It would be whatever that teacher said, whatever that principal said, and business was going to be taken care of, and I knew it. That's probably why I didn't get in trouble that much. I got in trouble some, I ain't gonna lie. But it's not that way anymore.
we have a lack of communication
Mm-hmm.
nowadays. Just community as a whole, just have a lack of communication.
Yes, ma'am. Anybody else have anything, any other questions?
Yes,
Yes.
prisoners still get out and help like the road work and at the cemeteries and stuff, so they don't do that.
Are you talking about the prisoners getting out? Is that what?
Yes, the inmates are getting out.
Yes, ma'am.
Talking about mows, and, you know, just
We,
pick
we,
up paper and all of that.
we do, what happened with that is the county basically pays for a service for people to come pick up trash now. If someone calls the sheriff's office and says, hey, this is a problem on this, I will send a work crew up to clean it, to take care of it, pick it up, clean it up if we can. Things that we try to do there is we try to prosecute these people. We're having a problem with the state attorney's office on that. We don't have many problems there, but this is one of them. If we go in the garbage and find where the address is, sometimes we go to them, come pick your garbage up. If you don't pick your garbage up, we're going to criminally charge you. Well, we had no teeth in that. It's just being honest, because the state attorney would not pick it up because they said we could not prove that that particular individual throwed his garbage in a ditch off of 125. I don't make the laws, I just enforce them. I don't agree with that, but you know what I agree with doesn't fly in court, they say so. But those are the things that we would like to do is prosecute. In that case, littering and things like that, we have to actually see that infraction happen in order to write a citation. Those are hard.
Speaking more of if they're in jail, if they do like,
They do.
community service where they drive around and clean up the side and.
Yes, we do when it's called and we're asked, but the garbage pickup is paid by a company now from the county. So I don't get out on 125 and pick up, I don't know the rotation of
We're city, because we're rural, so we don't have.
and the city too. I mean, if we have a problem somewhere and you need something done or something picked up, something clean, we work our inmates. They enjoy getting out doing it. We work, we do. Graveyards, if you call us, cemeteries, we will go clean it. We don't like to, but we will. Because again, it's not that we don't want the liability. One of those headstones, we were to bust it, trying to do a good deed. Now I'm paying $10,000 for somebody's headstone on us trying to do a good deed, and that's not smart business with your tax dollars to me. But it's hard for me to say no. I don't say no often, I can tell you that. But that's a good question. We wish that we could work a crew 24/7. I'll be honest with you. Inmates are lazy too. Whether you believe it or not, we can't make them work. They have to want to work. So getting the manpower of inmates would be a problem to get out to go to a big crew. They help with the flags through, we really do a lot of volunteer work with our inmates. Mr. Buck can attest for that and some of the things that we do. But if you call and you need it, as long as it's not on private property, we can't go, well, I can't send an inmate on private property to do work. Does that answer, is that?
Yes, that answers the
Okay,
question.
I just want to make sure. Anybody else?
I do it in private.
I'll be here whenever you, be right here, how about that? Anybody else? I don't want to miss anybody. I appreciate you coming. I'm like Mr. Buck. We felt it was important to put this out for the people in the community to come in, listen to us, see what we're doing, understand what we're doing, and get feedback from them. I always tell people, we need your eyes and ears to help us. You live in your neighborhoods, you're there more than we are. We ride through every now and then, trying to do our best to protect and serve. If you see something that's out of place, out of line, call us. Let us go check it. There's nothing too small, too simple. We expect you to call us, and our job is to go over there and check it out and make sure it's right.
Scott, you have one of these again next week, right?
I am having one next week in Sanderson. at Brother Vidal's church. Same thing, 6 o'clock. Probably gonna be the same information. We wanna make sure that we give them the same information to everybody. We will be available for questions. So yes, next week, the 7th, August the 7th, 6 o'clock, and we will have it at Faith Temple.
Be a good idea of mentioning church services or something, those good churches, making that.
We did do that in a few churches, announce it on Sunday service. We did do that in a few of our bigger churches, but we can reach out to our other partners, our pastors, and ask them to talk about it and spread the word. We've been bumping it on the app a lot, all last week, this week. Our Facebook, the paper's been very good at helping us put it out there. So we will start advertising the one for next week. It's probably early as.
Mention the speed camera for school starts.
Oh, yes, let's
That's
get back.
open house, August 7th, that time is open house.
All right. 6 in the evening, I think.
In the high school, it's
6 to
7:30.
Yeah, open house.
open house, high school.
High school open house, it's open house.
Yeah, I mean, I wish we could work our schedules around that stuff. We just picked 2 days, and I know everybody's busy, life's busy, but these were the 2 days that we could actually get the churches, so we have to work around them. And we were grateful that they gave us the facility tonight. I do want to mention this, our school cameras will be activated next week. We will be running 2 weeks of warnings. 2 weeks of warnings. We have got all the traffic lights, all the school crossing lights operational and fixed. We had some glitches, but they are fixed now and everything is in running order. After those 2 weeks, people will receive citations of $100 for speeding. I'll be honest with you, I was in the sheriff's conference this weekend in Orlando. I met our vendor, and on their vendor table, they had a thing that showed the reductions. We are the highest in reductions since implementing the cameras, and we have not wrote one ticket yet. We're 89% reduction in speeding in our school zones. It works, people. Yes, ma'am.
So, is there anything to put those in places like, anywhere off of 90, there's one block off of 90, and I'm sure they're doing 70 by the time they get to come out. And they're going for.
It's going to the sheriff's department, yeah.
What are we gonna do with that? Because if you think about it, I've lived there for 24 years,
Mhm.
and the amount of times the rescue goes out every day is unbelievable. And the percentage, in the rescue too, the percentage of accidents is unbelievable. It's just like, there is a accident injury on it every day.
It is.
And you know what I call it is, when we go out of town, we go earlier, we can't make things right. We got to try, like we read the manual,
Yeah.
And we're comfortable, we make our main drivers and all this stuff, and it's a big county.
Yeah.
And I can't do that anymore.
That is probably one of the biggest complaints I get about speeding on every county road, every side road, every McClenny 2, Copper Creek. And those are things that we are trying to tackle right now. What is our next plan of action, our best plan of action, that we can get that kind of stuff set up? Like our AIU with our warrants and our other thing, they will be a part of that on the traffic, but that can't be their sole jobs. And so if we can get things lined up, and it's financial, I'll just be honest with you, it's money, because it takes bodies, it takes people. The school cameras are done because of the state law. I mean, the law, we have to follow what the law allows us to do, and in the school zone, we could put them there. I'm not against putting them in neighborhood to make people safe, if that's something that we can do, and I'd have to get back with you, Ms. Susan, on that to make sure that, I don't think the law would allow us to do that. We're getting by this because of it's a school zone.
This has to be specific.
Even the little things that makes you aware of how fast.
We have 2 of those that we put out in the neighborhoods. And let me tell you how that device works, and it's pretty neat. If you give me a problem like where you're at right now, we go and station a machine there, our speed machine. That machine is calculating every vehicle that comes through there, the time, the date, the speed, and it's calculating. So it's showing us what the problem times are. Instead of sitting the deputy there from 8 o'clock in the morning to 4, we're not getting the best bang for our buck. If that machine says, okay, from 2 o'clock to 3 o'clock, we're seeing an abundance of violations of speed. I may get with the captain and say, hey, look at our speed trailer, tell us what it's telling us, what is the data coming in, and let's put somebody there at that time to see if we can reduce the speeding. But that is a problem. It's a problem all over the county, and doesn't go on deaf ears. We are just trying to figure out what is our best avenue and what is our best plan to attack the speed and the driving issues that we have.
One more thing.
Mhm.
I've sat here through the whole thing thinking, nothing else, because I'm conflicted about, I feel like it should be handled. But the homelessness, is more abundant than we've ever seen. And in my area, it's really bad because, they like to charge their phones at that little gazebo at the church and stuff. Called, if you want for Chris, sorry, whatever it is. I called him one day, he called him, and the next morning at 3 o'clock in the morning, I seen y'all out there looking. I didn't have a problem for a while, and from time to time I have it, but every day, there are several that come by, but you know, they're gonna charge the phone somewhere. And on one hand, I'm gonna feed them and I'm heartbreak for them, but on the other hand, we're too old people sitting on that corner, and I feel like sitting up sometimes.
Those are situations I would encourage people to call us and let us know where these people are at, and so we can go in and check these people. We try to encourage them to say, hey, do you need a ride somewhere? Can we take you? Is that free of cost? I would rather send a deputy to the bus station, to Lake City, in order to say, this person may be here to do something, steal your property, and he may just be passing through. So if we engage with them, talk with them, and encourage them, most of the time we can get them out of the county that way. And we try to help them. And if it's in a private or public area, it's hard for us, but if they go on private property, we can trespass them. They come back, then we can arrest them. Again, once we arrest them, then we house them here, and it's a burden to our jail costs. But that's what has to happen sometimes.
Our county doesn't really have a plan for that growing problem.
Not homeless that I know of, no. But we try to reach out to our neighboring counties. We got good working relationships with our other neighbors that say, hey, do you have homes where we can take? And we will. I'll instruct the captain or the lieutenant. They know that they can take him to the jurisdiction next to say, hey, we're trying to help him get somewhere where he can not be cold, not be hungry. We're not just dropping them somewhere to fend for themselves. We try to take them to a specific location to where we know they're taken care of.
Well, I noticed just today, there was 2 ladies right there at Walmart, they stood there for, I know, several days for, but then today, I seen them up at the furniture store, and they had be much of carts and buggies all set along the sidewalk.
We got a call, the one at the furniture store, I believe, and I heard that go out. We dealt with them today. What did you tell me?
EM is dealing with those homeless issues, so, with the Jewish services. To try to get placement and I just their heart. So they got a plan that they're working on.
We're working with a plan through our emergency management with Jewish services to see when we do run in and encounter these people, we'll have a contact to call and say, hey, we have X amount of person here that needs to go somewhere. So our emergency management is on top of that. It was just telling me about that. So that's something that we will be working on too. We want to get them where they need to be also and be safe.
The stop, that new stoplight, Scotty, on the off-ramp, you know, where you get off, that new off-ramp they put in?
Yeah.
I was following, you know, I was coming back from Jacksonville the other day, and I'm coming off, and I see the light red, you know what I mean? The guy that was in front of me, there's no way that he couldn't have seen the red light. And he blew through that thing and then turned left on the George Hodges. So you know he lives in McClenny, he knows that light's there. But that's not the first time that I've seen that happen. I mean, that might be someplace to put one of them cameras and, you know, because that's gonna be a very bad accident when it happens. And it's gonna happen.
Yep, we'll try to address that too. I didn't like the design, and I'm not the DOT,
totally
or that's out of my pay grade to tell me. Anybody else?
Can I ask a question about
Sure,
the cameras in the school zone?
sure.
Is the speed for the camera is like in school zone 20, 15, right? Is that all day long?
So this is how it works. In the mornings when the school light comes on, and the school zone speed, when the light is flashing, is 15, you have an 11-mile-an-hour variance over that. If you go 26, you're going to receive a ticket. When that light turns off at, let's just say, 12 o'clock, whatever, I mean, it turned off earlier than that. So from 12 to the next time it kicks on, which may be, let's say 3:15. So from 12 to 3:15 is whatever the posted speed limit is on that road all the time. So if it's a 30-mile-an-hour zone, at 41, you will receive a ticket. The only one that I know of is 125, Mr. Bobby, I think, that is a 25-mile-an-hour zone all day, every day. And that's the one that people really come through there. And I'll be honest with you, that's one of my biggest complaints is 125. But yeah, if there's a dispute, the light's not working and all that, we encourage you to call the number. That's another reason that we went with someone in-house. I didn't want you to call California or talk to somebody. If there's a dispute that you think something's not right, we encourage you to call. Let us look into it. We will find out if there is a problem. We will tell you what the problem is, so we can get out there and address the problem as quick as we can. But if we don't find the problem, we would have to say wasn't.
The reason I asked that was because when it was giving warning,
Mm-hmm.
one of them was giving warning, the light was not flashing.
Mm-hmm. We had a lot of those, I'll be honest with
And
you.
I got one sent to me,
Mm-hmm.
you know, and I wasn't breaking the 35 or whatever it was,
Mm-hmm.
but I was breaking the 20.
Because-
But it was
Beyond the school hours, I understand what you're saying. And we were having a lot of, that's why I said in the beginning, we have went out and personally looked, and we're working with the school to make sure that the timing, the lights are flashing. We have a problem on 23B, I think, because of the solar and the shade and all that, so it was not coming on properly so we have got all those kinks worked out. We were receiving all those complaints, and we looked into every one of those, and we feel confident that we got all that worked out, and they're accurate now. But again, if we have problems, that's why we have the individual here in the office that you can talk to, and we can go and check it immediately to make sure that everything we're doing is proper.
They're all have signs now.
And that's another thing. We did that because the lights people said that there were different times in the school zones that the lights would be flashing. So what we did is we made bigger signs that indicates the time that school zone is in place. So when I think it's 6:15 to 9:15. So it will be in bold writing to say school zone times are 9:15 or 6:15 to 9:15, and the AM is 1 o'clock to 4 o'clock. So the posting, there will be more posting signs there to help people. The goal is not to write a bunch of tickets, I'll be honest with you. That's not what when we went to this and I made a decision to go with it, it was not to write a bunch of tickets. It was to slow people down, because what have we heard mostly in here tonight? Speeding. We just found a way to reduce speeding by 89% on 5 of our roads by implementing one thing. That's a win to me.
It is.
Technology. I'm telling you, technology is law enforcement's best friend right now. And it's amazing what the technology will do. I'm glad you asked that question. If you get one and you don't agree with it, call us. We're gonna look into it, I can promise you. I'm probably gonna get a lot of calls, Mr. Bob, I ain't gonna lie to you.
Let them know we're gonna post every bit of that. We'll send Jessica the information on every school zone, every time. It'll be on the app.
Yep.
It'll be sent to them.
That's
Facebook.
another thing that what we're gonna do, is we're gonna have the accurate times for every school zone, what time it starts, what time it stops, what time it restarts in the afternoon. We'll get it to Jessica, we'll get it to the paper, and they will post it. We will post it on our app, we will post it on our social media, our Facebook. We're gonna try to push that out to inform people as much as we can. And that starts next week now.
It goes out next week.
The 11th.
Yeah. 2 weeks. We're hitting it before just to get people acclimated to it a little bit. And so, you're gonna get a warning that means to do it. And my people's not gonna like it, but I'm gonna tell them in front of y'all, if they get a ticket in that patrol car and they're not on their way to a call, or they can justify what they're doing, their paycheck's gonna be $100 less, or they're gonna pay it. Same with me. I'm not gonna do anything to them that I wouldn't do to myself. If I get caught going through there, a $100 bill will come out of my wallet. Because I would not ask you to do something that I would not be to do. Not gonna happen. Because we have to report these. We report these every year to whatever it is, DMV. I wanted to say all of them, I couldn't put them all together. But we have to report those. And if we take one out, we have to give cause of why we took one out. So this ain't gonna be, old buddy got one and he needs to come. Old buddy's gonna pay it. I hate it, but it's just that's the way it's got to be. Because I'm not gonna get in trouble for nobody. I'm gonna do the right thing. They probably didn't like that. They're gonna be mad at me. They're gonna talk about me in the hallways and all kind of stuff.
The captain's gonna be over there tomorrow going, all right.
They're frowning right now. I know what they're gonna do. They're gonna be turning their lights on going through the school. I was in a hurry. I was going to But all joking aside, it was a tough decision. I knew that we were going to be criticized for it. But again, I don't base my decisions off criticism. I base it off what I feel is right. I base it off of what I know is good for Baker County and what I feel is the safest for Baker County. And this shows 89% reduction. 89. We were writing over 1,300 tickets a day. We're averaging 150 now. So it works. Anybody got any questions? We can stay here all night if y'all want to, but I know some of y'all want to get supper, but I have no problem staying. Anybody got anything else? If not, we will dismiss, and I want to personally say thank you all for coming. Glad to have you here. I hope it was informative the way you.
Thank you.
Thank you.